end to one of America's longest wars ever poses a number of challenges. The Iraqi people will have to protect themselves now. American companies may wonder if they'll be left out in the cold. Joining us in Washington this morning, former Defense Secretary William Cohen. He's founder of the Cohen Group. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Secretary. This is the second costliest war ever for the United States, second only to World War II. What was gained? What was lost?
Well, I think the benefits have yet to be realized. If one had to do a calculation, you would say the costs involved far exceed the benefits we received to date. Having said that, it remains to be seen whether or not Iraq will develop into a full-fledged democracy. What we have done is to provide the seeds, allow the seeds to be spread for a democratic type of country. They're going to have to do the rest now, and I'm not sure they're up to it at this point. It's one reason why I would have recommended if we could have had more soldiers there for a little bit longer to see if the stabilization process could really take root. I am concerned that they are not in a position to truly defend themselves, and that the specter of Iran trying to spread its influence is going to be much easier without the U.S. troops there. Again, having said that, I think the president made the right call. If we had to subject our forces, whatever number were remaining, to the Iraqi justice system with no immunity for our soldiers, I would have pulled them out just as President Obama has done.
Mr. Secretary, today we learned that the U.S. ambassador to Syria was recalled because of a credible threat to his personal safety. How do you characterize the U.S. position in the Middle East right now?
Well, it's obviously difficult. We are still involved in two conflicts, both in Iraq and Afghanistan. I think the problem is going to be, as we leave Iraq, it's not going to go without some violence, in my estimation. I think that the Iranians will try and do whatever they can to embarrass the United States. They were going to see an increase in the attacks leveled against our soldiers. So we have to really beef up our security as we're leaving, because I think that the Iranians are going to try to embarrass the United States and saying they kicked us out, rather than the United States making a decision. We've been there long enough, time to come home and take care of business at home. So I would expect the level of violence to increase and uptick.
Well, as you say that, I know you're very concerned about the defense cuts that are planned or might be coming here in the United States as we have this wave of soldiers coming back to the U.S. Are you confident that the super committee can come up with a solution that won't cause even more drastic reductions in defense spending?
I think it will be an abdication of responsibility if the super committee doesn't come up with a plan that allows for a proper reduction in the level of defense spending, so that it's not simply what they call salami slicing and each one take a proportionate cut. That would be a disaster. If they do their job and come up with a plan to avoid that, then I think that the military can handle it. Absent that, if the automatic cuts go into effect, or the threat of them, because they'll be delayed actually a year, the politics are that if they don't reach a decision, the cuts go into effect automatically, but they are delayed and deferred for a year. That's the worst of all worlds, because then contractors, others, can't plan for how much they're going to be able to spend in the coming year or two. Okay. So I think the committee better make a decision if they're going to act in the self-interest of the United States.
Agreed. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary.